I still got it.
Do you?
Just in time. Welcome to the Locker, Season 6, Episode 31. I'm your man, A. White. Give me my glow. They ain't gonna give me my glow.
Mm-mm. Yeah, you ain't earned it.
Along with my man V Styles.
You ain't earned it.
Hey, we got a live new one today, man.
Do we?
Man, we should hire the FCC just to keep them on their toes, because today,
This day.
we need to, hey, I want to see what the FCC would do. Dump, whoever got the dump button to be working overtime.
I'm ready. I'm fired up. I'm fired up.
You got a coach lined up because we ain't gonna keep the one we got. And I was around when they got rid of Joker. So I know if the fans don't want him here, they know how to get rid of him. Hit him in them pockets.
For sure.
All right.
Yeah. Yeah.
So interesting. All that to say, we got the cut man Alan Cutler joining us today. You know, just because he's a friend of the show, for one, friend of both of ours. And he may or may not have some inside scoop. And he's been in the locker room many a time. So welcome, Alan.
Gentlemen, and I abuse that word. Gentlemen, good evening. How are you?
We are men. Gentle might not be the word. We are definitely men. Yeah.
Hey, I'm one for two. If I did that in baseball, I'd be making $20 million a year, and I wouldn't be talking to you guys.
Hey, you said you a Blue Jays fan?
No, I said if Blue Jays hit a home run, I'm going to get ticked because I'm a diehard Yankee since the 1950s. Blue Jays, if they hit a home run, I'm going to be mad. So I didn't want to not warn you that I might use some felonious words.
Well, you get awful live on your show. I think you do have some parameters that you have to abide by. But you get loose on your show. Why you feel like you can't come on here and let your hair down or keep it up?
No, I was teasing it. I was teasing it.
Come on, Alan, man.
And I asked Jimmy the other day, my producer, Jimmy's wonderful. I know he's had to hit the button on me twice. We're not sure if it's 2 or 3 times. That's almost 3. Yeah. Yeah, I am careful.
In one show?
No, I'm talking about since I started the show almost 3 years ago.
Right.
Man, I get the dumb butt hit on me at least twice a week. Maybe.
And you only on once a week.
But we're on 3 hours though.
Yeah, that's true.
Okay.
You gotta do a little better. Alan, since we got you on here, I'm gonna start off with this. Well, I know we may not even get to talk about the game we just played last week because you can catch Van's breakdowns on Van's social media. We may. Alan may want to talk about some of that. We may get to that. But Alan, is there a realistic? The talk of the town is there a realistic expectation that Mark Stoops may not be here in 26 or 27? Is there a realistic 26? Let's just stick with 26. Is there a realistic expectation?
If they win only one game, I don't know how you bring him back.
In 26? This year, no. So this year he gets this year.
Yeah, right. No, what I said was if you only win one more game this year, I don't know how you bring him back. Because here's what's going to happen. And Van and I have talked about this on my show, and I'm curious to your opinion, Anthony, and I bet you agree. I mean, these kids, and I'm not calling them quitters, but they quit in the Louisville game. I mean, they just gave up hope. And if this thing falls apart, you have to wonder if some of the kids will quit. Now, on the other hand, suppose Cutter keeps on getting better. Suppose this freshman kid, Cam Miller, who you wonder why he hasn't seen the field before, turns into a go-to guy. I mean, I'm not saying they're going to win 9 games, but could they win a couple of games that they shouldn't? It's possible. It's possible. I don't know. I'm not that smart. But if the only team they beat is Tennessee Tech, and by the way, they score a lot of points, even though it's a different level of football. Okay, so everybody says Cup cake. You don't think those Tennessee Tech kids are salivating from the mouth? They're foaming like crazy. They're saying we could make our life, our reunions will be spectacular if we beat those boys in Lexington KY. So look, I don't know. The answer is depends on what they do. If they're horsepuck the rest of the year, do I see Stoops coming back? No. But suppose he beats, come on, this program has beaten teams before that they haven't, you're not supposed to beat. Suppose they beat Florida. Suppose they beat Louisville. Suppose they beat Vandy. Do I think he's coming back? Yeah, if he wants to. Absolutely. Absolutely. If he wants to. So you want me to answer a question that the truth is nobody knows. And even the people who make decisions, they don't know.
But you did say, and before I get into my thoughts on it and get Van's, you did say so if they go 3-9, you assume if they go so at the loss of Tennessee Tech or at the win of Tennessee Tech, or say they lose to Tennessee Tech, say it's 2-10, they find the money immediately. They find the money immediately. It's not even finding the money immediately. Cut. It is finding the money, then paying it to who?
Okay. Unless they're stupid, and I don't think they are, I think they've already quietly behind the scenes are working on a plan if they have to spend the money. I don't think all of a sudden in middle November, people get together and say, hey, we have to do this. I would be shocked, and it would be incompetence on their part not to have a what-if scenario ready and find out who's going to kick in for money and stuff like that. And by the way, that's not a shot against Stoops. That's business. You guys know that. That's business. And you know what? It's happened many times. A program, I'm not saying Kentucky's thinking about firing somebody and somebody wins 5 games in a row and things change. Look, Rich Brooks was in trouble. Rich Brooks, who did a great job here, he was in trouble. After that, LSU was at 48-0. Do I remember something like that? And he turned it around. Nobody thought he could turn it around. And I really like Rich. And they had some great guys on that team, just great guys. But they turned around. So I don't know. If they quit and they don't win another game and they start getting blown out, you can't bring them back. But like I said, you beat Florida, you beat somebody like Texas, you beat Louisville, maybe hang tough or beat Vandy, something like that. All of a sudden, you got 6 wins. And you know what they'll say? You see, you didn't believe in us. You didn't believe in us. You quit on us early. You shouldn't quit on us if you're a real fan. I can't stand that crap, but that's neither here nor there.
I tell you what, man, and I feel bad because you keep saying, Stoops, and a lot of people on the team are friends of yours and myself. And we try to support him on this show on Sunday mornings. We try to support Stoops. And just kind of because Van and I know how hard it is to get a win in this conference. We know how hard it is to line up next to 10 other people that want to win as bad as you do for another state. Van's from Louisiana. I'm from Ohio. But we're not going to get into how we both may feel the talent, the high school talent that comes up to the ranks is in the state. So point is, it is tough to get wins at Kentucky, period. Mark Stoops has put some of the good guys in good position. Look at where's Clinkscale at right now? Where's Liam Cohen at right now? Maybe he fired Shannon Dawson, but he has brought people in that can do the job. Now the narrative is he's brought him in, he didn't allow him to do the job. No, he let Clinkscale do the job. He didn't want to pay Clinkscale, so Clinkscale had to leave. Now Clinkscale's an NFL coach. He was on the Michigan team. I say this, Alan. Like I said, I've done a lot of time supporting Stoops just because, man, I just know the years that we've had here in Kentucky, and our fan base acts as if, no, we need 8 or 9 wins every year. You've never had that, so how do you know you need that? How do you know you need that? Alan, say I don't want to get you involved in nothing that might get you in trouble. I can get
hold on. Don't worry about getting me in trouble. I don't give a rat's. I'm going to say what I say. How can you get me in trouble? You can't get me in trouble.
I do this to Van all the time. I can get you
but I understand that's Van. There's a difference. I love Van, and he knows it, but that's Van, okay?
I could get the most attractive woman in the bar club, and oh man, I am so admirable about it, and have a relationship with a dater, whatever case might be. At the end of it, it's over. If she don't want me back, she don't want me back. Or if I did not perform well, I didn't perform well. So point being is, I admired it and I enjoyed it. They admire what Mark Stoops has done here. They're acting like you're going to get another prime queen again. You don't get another prime. You may. But as long as you've been covering this, Alan Cutler, have you seen the university return from having good times? Then we take a drought, then we come back up, and we don't even peak. I think Mark Stoops peaked a little bit. 9-win seasons. I think he peaked a little bit for us. But our fan base is saying he's done enough, and I do think he's done enough. He broke me. I think he doesn't have control of the program anymore, so I'm on board on that part. But everybody's acting like they want him gone because the program deserves better. No, they deserve better than what he's doing now, but they don't deserve better to the standards we brought him to, that he's brought us to.
I agree with that. Let's see. Sometimes everybody wants an answer when it really isn't there, and everybody wants to jump the ship. I have said this for decades and decades and decades and decades. The position that doesn't get enough heat that goes on in collegiate sports is the athletics director. Okay? And the athletics director's job is, whether anybody likes it or not, is to hire the right next coach. I'll give you an example. When Matthew Mitchell was hired by Mitch, okay, and I'm going, he's at Moorhead. Okay, I knew his background, Pat Summitt, and the people he learned from. It was a gutsy move. It really worked out. You credit Mitch. There's a guy named Meyer. Did he win a couple national championships? You know his first name? Urban?
It's a part of a city. It's like the center of the city usually.
Do you know the story about him? Do you guys not know? Let me
share the Bowling Green story or after that?
Yeah, Bowling Green. He had a guy named Jimmy Johnson, like the Jimmy Johnson, called here. His dad, if I remember right, played football here. There are some people who thought he had more talent at Bowling Green than Kentucky. I don't know about that.
Wow.
But he had a lot of talent. And so an AD's job is to look a step ahead. That's what their job is. Some are good at it, some are not. I don't know this, but he didn't even get an interview. Okay? And so I can't tell you that if they hired Urban Meyer that Kentucky would have won a national championship. There's tons more, as you guys know, resources at Ohio State and stuff like that. But I'm not backing down from my point. I'm just not backing down from my point, which is athletics directors have to hire the right person. Now, one more. Nobody in their right mind thought that Mark Pope was the right coach before he came here. I liked him before anybody else. Not right away. I was shocked. Okay, now think about it. That's an out-of-the-box hire. It's a wonderful hire by Mitch. Give him credit. So, you know what? I don't want to hear this crap, and I'll tell you why. I can't stand that everybody thinks you can't win in football here. I just can't stand it. If you were fortunate enough to hire Nick Saban 15, 18 years ago, okay, do you think Kentucky would have won more?
Possibly.
No. I think they would have won more. I'm not saying they would won. Okay, and Van, that's, we can disagree. Point is this. There is Signetti. Actually did a story with his father 1,000 years ago. In that small school he coached at outside of Pittsburgh. It was a fullback. It was actually a pretty good prospect at IUPUI, whatever the heck the name, Indiana, Pennsylvania, whatever it was. Signetti. I liked him, by the way, a lot when Indiana hired him. Did I think he'd do this? No, I didn't. But think about it. He's had a couple jobs in a row. He's done a really good job. You got to hire the right person. And there are times you can elevate your program by hiring the right person. I got one more and then I'll stop and I want you to respond. Billy Gillispie, disaster, right?
Yes.
Okay. If Mitch Barnhart would have hired somebody else like Billy Gillispie next, one, he would have been fired. And two, I'm not saying Kentucky couldn't have come back from that. I am going to tell you, I know Kentucky fans don't want to hear it. It would have been much, 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 much tougher. Okay. And so hire the right person. Now, your window's tighter. Okay. This is the part everybody misses. The window is tighter if it's Kentucky. But that doesn't mean the pool isn't there. That means you might have to dip down and find the next person and do your homework to understand that that next person, wherever he goes, I'm saying he for football, not she. We're not at that point yet. I wonder if our lifetime we'll have a female head coach. I bet we do. Neither here nor there. Anyway, we're not. You're at the point where you have to find the next one. That's what you have to do. That's your job. And you know, if it's me, I would have already been doing research like crazy on assistant coaches and head coaches and whatever. I'd already be doing it. That doesn't mean you act on it, but you have to be prepared to act. And I'm not sure that a lot of these ADs are doing it. And there are too many ADs that chicken out and they're using these coaching search firms. And I'm not convinced that they do a good job. I'm just not convinced. The athletics director has to be able to hire the right person. Period. Is it easier to get someone to win in Alabama than here? Yes. So what? Really? Athletics directors often stink and they don't take enough heat. That's my story. I'm sticking to it. And by the way, guys, I've said this for over 40 years.
Cut. I'm gonna say this, and Van. After I say this, I'm gonna present it to Cut, and you can answer it as well. Here's the thing: everybody in the chat is talking, and I'm not saying my opinion or Van's opinion is better than nobody else. I know how to. I'm giving my all. Me, Tim Couch, Craig Easton. We can put up 40 points and still lose games. If there's a group of people who say, and Van has been on teams to hold a team to 7 points, 3 points. 10 points and still lose a game. Point being is, it is tough to win in this conference. I think the guys are giving effort.
Okay, stop it. Sure. Stop it. Quit being a wuss. Stop it.
No.
Wait a second. Kentucky has a tough schedule, right? Yes or no?
Right.
Does Tennessee have a tough schedule? Yes or no?
Yes.
The answer is yes. Does Alabama have a tough schedule? Yes or no?
Everybody has a tough schedule.
Yes. Does Georgia have a tough schedule? Yes or no?
All of them have a tough schedule.
Everybody has a tough schedule. I am sick and tired.
Hold on.
No, I'm sick and tired of anybody complaining about the schedule.
Hold
and
on,
you know
we're
what?
not. Hold on.
Go play in the Big East.
Hold on.
Okay, go play in the WAC, which doesn't exist anymore. Go play in the Pac-10, which doesn't exist anymore. Shut up about schedules. Shut up. Vandy has a tough schedule, and now they're winning. Shut up.
Alan, hold on. It's not
you
about
said you wanted to be no filter.
Hold on. Van and Allen, hold on. It's not about what I was saying was not about the schedule. What I was saying was that it is hard to win, just period, with the guys lined up next to you. Alabama, Tennessee, Florida, Georgia, Texas. You can find guys lined up to you all through the state. Here's the point I was asking. Alan, the point you made about the basketball search. Our fan base and you, Alan Cutler, should have learned that when Calipari did us a favor and left and saved us a lot of money, was everybody knocking down the doors to come coach at Kentucky? And now this is the Mecca. This is the Mecca of college basketball. And we don't want him here no more. Now this is our basketball team. And you think Nick Saban Jr. is just gonna walk through the door and say, or you think Dabo's gonna be like, I'm tired of Clemson. Let me go to the SEC. So that's where I'm at with that conversation. When everybody's saying we can win in this conference, who are you gonna bring here to win? We could. Okay. We have the best school in history to play. And our coach left, and we had an open search, and nobody wanted it. We had to go back the only reason we went back to a former player, Alan. The only reason he came because he was a former player.
It's really simple. Joe B. Hall, when he left, do you know they had trouble finding a coach? Do you know that? You don't. They did. They had trouble finding a coach. That's a misnomer when everybody says Oh, it's Kentucky. Everybody wants to come here. There's a couple things. One is a lot of guys that are happy in their own backyard and they're making a lot of money, so they're less apt to move. And some people don't want this fishbowl, by the way, and would rather coach at Nate Creighton instead of here. Okay, that's one. Two, I'm telling you, if you look at the history, now it was different with the probation and stuff like that. Pitino turned him down once. Mike Krzyzewski was asked, I don't know if you know that. It's true, by the way. C.M. Newton even said it. They had trouble finding a coach. So this thing that people have in their mind, it's Kentucky basketball, blah, 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 blah. History says, I'm sorry, guys, you're wrong. You're wrong. Lute Olson, everybody thought, not everybody, excuse me, many thought he was coming here. There are people who go to the grave thinking he was coming here. He stayed in Arizona. The great Kentucky. And that's not a shot against Kentucky. History shows I'm right. I'm right. There's a perception it's Kentucky. Everybody wants to come here. No, they don't. And that's not negative to Kentucky. It's not negative to the coaches that turn it down. I'm sorry, Anthony. I know history. It's honestly, my friend, not true.
This is what I'm going to say.
Van, before you do, can I ask? I want Anthony to say he knows I'm right because I'm giving history. Come on.
Right.
Hey,
You're not right.
Wait, so hold on. You're telling me I'm not right that they couldn't find a coach when Joby Hall left?
I do not know that for a fact. But
Wait
you
a
said
second.
hey,
Hold it. This is me, and I've been doing this forever around here. That is factual. I'm telling you, it's factual.
But there's reasons. So I'll say there's reasons. If I think I'm good looking and I dump my girlfriend because I think I can get any woman, and I dump my girlfriend, I can't get it because I'm poor, because I'm tortured inside. That's where Kentucky is. That's where we are. Our fan base thinks everybody wants to be here, but our fan base plays in it. And one thing I will give you credit for, if you want credit, the more people say it, our athletic director does deserve responsibility for this stuff.
By the way, that's not a shot against Mitch. It's any athletics director.
Yeah, you're right. I mean, you have to make good decisions. You got to he brought good people in here, but the decisions made, wow, I would give you that.
Well, here's the thing. There's a lot of stuff. I've been quiet too long. First of all,
I know. I'm worried. I thought you know what, Van? I thought you had laryngitis.
I'm a team player. For Moonshine that said people have won here. For sure. Brooks had 2 8-win seasons. Mummy had 2 7-win seasons. Y'all won't accept 7-win seasons anymore. Not you in particular. There are fans who want to accept 7-win seasons. So all that stuff about Mummy winning here would be a disaster now because of the expectations created by the current coach. That's one. Second of all,
I agree with
this. This is the other thing. Is like we're talking about basketball. I'm gonna tell you one thing as a coach. If I'm at a good program, let's say Jay Wright, I'm at Villanova, I'm getting the resources, I'm in kind of a talent-rich area. Why would I go to a place with the expectation and type of fans that we might have at Kentucky, that one bad turnaround, you're out of here? When I'm winning at where I'm at, because here's what the difference is. Money is, and it's not totally, money is equivalent across all barriers now. Back in the day, you had to coach at the top schools to make the money. Now, you can coach at a Indiana and make $4 or $5 million. Like now, as a coach, I'm not hamstrung by the resources, I guess the salary potential of going to a more traditional powerhouse. I can win anywhere. On top of that, with the playoffs, I can win easy. I can go to the playoffs easier at a lower power 4 or a G5 than I can go to Kentucky, Vandy, Indiana, for example, as that had an easy schedule. Like those things is also to play into factor. I just think for some people to think, look, I'm going to always support the head coach here all the time. I don't care who he is. Whoever's the next coach here, he will have my support 100%. I'm going to go to bat for him. You are not going to get a coach that you think Nick Saban's not coming here. Dabo's not coming here. Whoever else the top guy, Will Stein probably is not coming here. Like, we have to be realistic about whom is going to be able to get here. That guy will get here. Let's be happy. Look, we can get a Dan Campbell that was at Iowa State. We can get that caliber coach to come here and just reinvigorize the program. But don't think we're going to get
Dan Campbell. One is not coming here. Two,
no.
You know,
a guy like Dan Campbell.
You're right. Okay, but by the way, do you know Jay Wright turned the job down twice?
I'm sure he did.
No, I know. No. I've reported it. Turned it down twice, not once.
Why? Why, Cut? Why?
I'll give you a bunch of reasons. The school loves him. He loved the school and the father that ran the place. He had carte blanche. If you go look at his recruiting, a ton of it was done within a 50, 60-mile radius of the school. If I get this wrong, I apologize. My understanding, his wife had a really good job and liked it. When his kids were little, he had the in-laws for babysitting. He had his whole friends down there. He loved his life there. He loves his life there. And so, and it wasn't a shot at Kentucky that he turned it down. The man is happy where he was at. Happy where he's at. Actually, he just left CBS doing TV, which I think he was pretty good, for 7 figures to go back and work for the school just to help the school out. I wasn't surprised he turned it down at all. It's not a negative comment towards Kentucky. You know, he's made millions and millions and millions and millions and millions. How much do you need? Not every coach needs to jump for it. He has a great life. He loved what he was doing. He appreciated the fact that he got a phone call twice. He was not coming here. And by the way, again, it's not a negative shot against Kentucky, but people think it's just Kentucky that everybody wants to come. They got rocks in their head. It's flat out not true.
Let me ask you this, Cut. And this is honestly, I know our show is raw and we get deep down. And thinking about it, do you think, honestly, and be sensitive, don't be, try to be sensitive as you can. Honestly, do you think that
when have I not been honest with you?
Mark being divorced and losing his mom in these past couple of years may have taken. I ain't lost my mom yet, but I did lose my dad, and me and Larry Vaught talked about that shit. Man, so people are saying he's lost his focus may not be able to be. You lose the love of your life, and the first woman you ever loved in your life in a short span. You think that may have, and so maybe people think that he don't care. He might not be able to find the strength to care.
I have never doubted that he cares, by the way, and I've said this many times. And what I've also said is, I'm not smart enough to know what's in his heart, and to give you as direct as I can be. Would it surprise me if his divorce and losing his mom affected him tremendously? Would it surprise me? No. Do I know? I do not. It's an honest consideration. I do know this, and I've said this many times. I've talked to Van about it on the show. I don't know if I talked to you when you were on the show, but he lost his way. Could it be that his personal life had something to do with him losing his way? Yes. Am I going to speculate? I will not. Would I be surprised either way? No, because guess what? Forget that he's the coach, of a big time school, because Kentucky's a big time school. They just don't win enough in football. Anybody could lose their way because of it. And I think there was another reason why for sure he lost his way, because he stopped with the one thing that was so important to him, his discipline. Oh, I'm afraid players are going to leave. I'm going to let them get away with stuff. I think that was huge. But I can't say one way or the other. I think it's legitimate to bring it up. And, if he'd be listening to this, which he's not ever going to do, he would say, it's my personal life and shut up. And you want to know something? And I'd respect that as well. So it's a legitimate question. The only person that could answer that would either be Stoops or somebody really, really close to him. And if somebody really, really close to him, if they knew the answer, probably shouldn't tell us.
Mike Stoops did follow the show a whole lot of months back. We got to follow.
You got Mike Stoops on your show?
No, he followed the show. We get the thing that they followed the show.
Oh, okay.
Hey, Alan, you will be surprised. You will be surprised how many people we had a breakdown last week of the game.
Actually, I'm worried about Van having a breakdown with the three of us together.
and there was one particular player on the defensive side of the ball that kept showing up. And he followed one of us on the show. I don't know if it was to get corrective pointers or if it was because we kept pointing you out that you were misaligned, misassignments. So I never take for granted that people are not watching.
I got you. I respect that. I'm sorry, I heard you wrong. I thought you said that Mike Stoops did your show. My bad.
Oh,
No. We got to follow after a show we did. We got to follow from it.
Wouldn't surprise me.
I think that position group was being questioned today.
Let's put it this way. I don't know this for a fact, but I'm told that UK, it's not just my show, monitors sports talk shows, especially ones that they deem as controversial, and somebody's reporting back to somebody. I've been told this by a number of people. Do I think it's true? I do. Can I prove it? No. Could I go on TV and do this as a story? I could not. But I do take some liberties like that because I know some of the people have told me that. And I think it's true. I really do.
You don't get text messages? I get text messages from that's not true. From people in the sports information department.
Oh.
You've never got a text message?
From sports information? No. Have I gotten text messages from maybe somebody or two or whatever without giving numbers higher up? Yes.
Okay. So,
and please don't ask me who, because I'm not going to tell you.
I'm not going to tell you too. I think you misunderstand who I'm saying because it's probably the same person. But
I doubt it.
We work in the same office as well.
No, not the same person.
Okay, gotcha.
I would say this because I hear this a lot. When people challenge statements about Stoops and they get a pushback, especially for me, it comes to the question of, so we should be happy with Stoops because he's the best we've had. No, Avantre, no, that's not it. See, it's not, you don't go from one end to the other. There's a lot in the middle. If Stoops is gone, he's gone. But sometimes expectations are out of this world for this conference. Because you can't look at, the thing I hate is when people say, well, look at that team in that conference. That conference is not this conference. There's a reason why people in that conference can do things in that conference that people in this conference can't. Like, it's hard to compare yourself. First of all, comparisons is deep of joy, but to compare yourself to another team in another conference when their schedule can be totally different than ours, as far as everybody in this conference is playing at least 4 to 5 ranked teams every year. 4 ranked teams you're going to play every season. You don't get
that's the minimum
in other conferences.
I think that's a very low number, but go ahead.
We're going to play at least
seriously,
4.
Van, it's a very low number.
But I'm just saying, on average, you're going to play 4 to 5 ranked teams, like every year. That's extremely difficult. Not saying that it's not impossible, but when you go to other conferences that sometimes don't play their top 3 teams, like, wouldn't it be nice if we had a conference where we didn't have to play Georgia, Texas, and Tennessee this year? Wouldn't that be great? If we can go play, rearrange those with Mississippi State, Arkansas, and somebody else who are still great teams, but not 3 of the better teams, wouldn't that be great? That's what other conferences sometimes do. You can get a team that gets hot and don't play for one of the top teams, and they lose to that game. So that's one. The other thing is, Moonshine, I'm going to say this to you. If we continually win 7 games, we are right now, year in and year out, the bottom third of recruiting. Even though we are top 25, we are always 12, 13, 14 recruiting in this conference. Every year in and year out. We had 1 year, I think in 2019, 2020. 7 wins is not going to cut you to get up to the top echelon. Just not. I want you to understand, if I had a son, and I love Kentucky more than anything else, if my son played football, and he's been recruited by Georgia, Alabama, let's throw in Florida, and Missouri, let's just say, and Kentucky. Kentucky is not 1, 2, or 3. If we're being serious, if we're being honest with ourselves, when we got top-ranked kids, if my kid's a 5-star, I'm just sorry. I love the school, but my son has aspirations of going XYZ. He wants to play for a better program. I'd be like, you know what, dude? You want to go play for Alabama? No problem. You want to go play for Tennessee? I would hate it. I would never wear Tennessee guard. But, dude, this is your life. Kentucky would not be in the top 5. So just because you win 7 wins, you win 7 games all the time, it's not going to affect your recruiting. We won 9 games twice. Twice. In 3 years.
10.
Did our recruiting go top 5? No.
10.
Well,
he had two 10-win seasons.
Only count regular season. Anthony only counts regular seasons.
I don't count them bowl joints. I don't count them bowl joints.
What? What is wrong with you guys?
Well, okay, I'm gonna tell you, Anthony. Miss Cutler.
What is wrong with you?
Here's
a
why.
win is a win is a win. They're tough enough to get. Don't take it away.
It is a legit reason. It's a legit reason.
No, there isn't. There's no legit reason, but I'll listen to respect.
Hold on. Because they didn't count those stats when we played.
No, they don't count those stats.
They don't count our bowl game stats.
Well, they should.
Well, they don't. They count the Anthony stats. Anthony would have shot. You shoot what, 5 spots?
I took up a bunch of spots.
They don't count our bowl games.
I'm the second leading receiver. But in 2002, they did.
But two wrongs don't make a right.
No, you're right.
So our whole point was it's just an extra game because if you're not playing for the national championship, dude, I'm trying to go. If you like, Tim Couch got beat up in that Penn State game. Chris Comstock had a hell of a time over there with Courtney Brown. He had a hell of a time. I mean, he jumped off sides like 7 times. Point being is we don't count that, man. Like, this game don't count. Tim's gonna be the first pick. We don't want him to get hurt. There's so many things that go into it, Alan. So you can't really. Some people like the lower one. If they playing against a SEC team,
then you want
everybody
to count
looks at the bowl game stats against SEC because everybody. But Joseph, what's your boy? What's your boy down there with you, Van? Joseph, the DB.
Oh, Kevin Joseph.
Kevin Joseph. Like we were just lucky enough to have good guys when Benny,
Josh,
and those guys wound up playing. But the bowl games, and you got to think about it, Alan. Those were different guys. Those guys were built different, made different belief system. But
because Anthony, if we win 8 games, that year if Will Levis and C-Rob plays.
Oh yeah.
So now the 7-win season is now 8. If you want to call bowl game.
But Alan, the one thing they don't understand when they say they only want 7 wins, even if you're talking about 7 wins in this era, all that means is 4 out of conference wins and 4-4 in the SEC.
It's changing now.
Three. I'm a bad 3 and 5 in the SEC.
Anthony, we about to go 9 games conference schedule.
But if you want 7 now,
that all changes. You got 2 non-conference schedule, Louisville, and now you got to win 6 out of 3. When the last time we won 6 games in conference? That'll be never.
Okay, so I want. Hang on, guys. I wonder if there'll be some coaches, because it's a 9-game schedule, who will say, I don't want to come here because I'm going to get fired because I can't win enough to even get to a bowl game because of 9 conference games. And you can't quit on Louisville.
Nope.
You can't quit on Louisville.
Nope, because you got to have another Power 4 game.
So let me ask you both a question. If there is a change, is this job even less attractive because of 9 conference games?
I don't think it's less attractive because you're still in the SEC.
Right.
No,
but there are some.
There, be there.
Let me fill this out. Now, shut up. I want you to answer. I know you're saying the SEC, but at some time in life, you have to be realistic. So let's say you're at a Power 4 and you're making $2.5 million a year and you're winning bowl games and you're doing a really good job. I don't know about having a job for life, but you've been there 8-10 years, and that's the kind of coach that they decide they want to hire. And you say, you know what? The grass isn't always greener on the other side. It's going to take a special person with 9 conference games to start winning big here. It is. And I think internally, I honestly believe, can't prove it, no one will say it, there'll be people who do not want to come to the SEC because they're saying, I can't win here. Now, can I ask you guys a question?
Go ahead.
Yes, sir.
Okay. And I use this on my show. Let's say I'm hiring Van. I'm thinking about hiring Van to be the head coach. And we,
Right.
we've done the background research, all that kind of stuff. We meet in a hotel in Chicago. We're trying to be secret about it. They're tracking us, all that kind of fine. You know what the first question I asked Van?
What's that?
Can you recruit talent that wants to go to Georgia? That's one. Now, I think Van will answer with an obvious thing. Now, what's your answer back to? And by the way, before you answer, if the person says, I don't know, they're out. They're out. They are now. Hopefully, you're just out. And then if they say yes, I want to know the plan. But I bet I know what Van would say in response to that. If I'm the AD, what would you say? Anthony,
You said, can I recruit so those players are going to come here, or am I going to recruit and get in the top 5?
You're going to bring players into Lexington, Kentucky, wearing Kentucky proudly across their chest. Players that Georgia would also want.
That ain't happening.
Then guess what? Then you're out.
Yeah, that ain't happening.
You're out. And by the way, if I have to go through 30 guys, I don't care. Somebody has to be able to convince me that you can recruit Georgia talent here. Now, Anthony, I thought what Van would say. Now, if I'm sitting in Van's shoes, you know what I say? Will you support me as well as Georgia is supported to bring talent in?
Yeah.
Because part of Mark Stoops' problem is he did not get equal support. And one step further, they were way behind in NIL. And now you can have money and not spend it properly. And I actually think, from what I've been told, there was more money for this team than people realized than I realized. I can't give you the figure, but yep. I know where I got this the source from. This is a really good source, and I went, holy blank.
And it's still 12 or 13 in this conference.
I don't know that. I don't. Let me put this. Some of the people that are putting out lists and stuff like that, they could be right, and they could be full of you know what. I think there's a lot of misinformation out there, and there's a lot of people putting stuff out. They have no idea what they're talking about. I can tell you what I have been told is higher than I've seen on any list. And the truth is, I don't know what Alabama has. I'm sure more would be my guess. I don't know what Oklahoma has, or how about Texas A&M? They got money now. And so I don't know. But the figure I was told that Stoops had to buy a team, because that's what you're doing, you're buying a team, was much greater than I thought.
And with that, I'm sorry, with that money, and this is the problem. This is really the problem, because this is what happens, right? I know LSU. I know LSU's paying Nussmeier. I know what Duke is playing Minton. I know
can you say you can't say?
It's over a couple $1 million. So
that doesn't surprise me.
Right.
Hey, they're paying a Vandy quarterback over $2 million.
Right. So here's the thing.
Who would have thunk? Who would have thunk?
We have to spend our money on O-line. We had to spend a whole bunch of money on O-line.
They did, by the way.
Exactly.
Brown wasn't cheap. Big T wasn't cheap.
Exactly.
We gave the coach a boost. Coach a boost.
So that impacted our ability to get a top quarterback, because already allocated.
Can I interrupt? And I'm sorry for interrupting yours. Jeff Drummond just put this up. Jeff is great. He said they spend a lot of money on quite a few guys who are not making an impact. That's a great comment, Jeff. And that's the thing. What did I say before? You can spend money and not spend it wisely. Van, I apologize for interrupting.
No, that is. But we're not the only ones that are doing that. There are a lot of teams that. The only difference is when it hits us, it's more obvious because we don't have as deep of pockets to withstand making a miss on a guy. I'm gonna tell you this. Barry Brown is making a lot of money at LSU. His stats are not any different than they were here.
Is he making $2 million a year?
I'm not sure exactly how much, but I know it's over $1 million.
Oh, that doesn't surprise me.
So the thing about it though, he's not doing anything better than what he did here. That's a loss of funds.
Right.
But when we do it,
can I ask you a question? Can I ask you a question? And you have this answer much better than me. I don't know, and I've questioned this, but I don't have enough information. Is it possible his numbers aren't better because they're paying some other people who are also fast, who are better than he is at LSU? Is that I don't know. I'm asking you a question. And you're right. I thought his
For
numbers
sure.
would be bigger, but I also don't know what the LSU talent is. So then I honestly can't make an evaluation. Is that fair?
No. He is definitely not. They got Anderson. They got two receivers that are better than him. And him and Chris Hilton Jr. are the same receiver. But Chris Hilton Jr. is bigger. They're the same guy. Speedster, who can bust the top off of coverage. But he is not making a difference on that team. But what I'm saying is, like, there are guys, like Jeff said, there are guys at other places that teams pay whom does nothing. They made a bad decision. The same thing how we make bad decisions on some players, it happens. The problem is for us, when we do it, it's amplified because we ain't got as deep a pockets to withstand making a mistake. If you don't think Saban has made a poor recruiting choice, you're sleeping. The thing about it is, instead of like us getting 1 5-star, Saban's getting 5 or 6. So if you miss on 2, you still have 3 to 4. That's the difference. If our 5-star don't hit, it's like, oh my God, we just spent all that money on that 5-star player, and look what he's doing. He's giving us nothing. The difference is always like when we play a game, our margin of error is razor thin. When we recruit certain type of players and they don't perform, it becomes top headline story. I mean, how many? I mean, did we not get Dumas Johnson and Kendrick Law from Alabama? Think about that. Those were top flight players. Kendrick Law was a high 4-star player in this state. They pay him money, but no one over there is probably, oh my God, we paid this guy all this money. He ain't doing anything. Because they got other players that can make up for that misstep.
Yeah.
Well, Law wasn't killing it in Alabama. He was a guy of potential.
Right. You're right.
I mean, look, in basketball, for example, I think it was Kansas State. They spent a whole bunch of money and they weren't very good. You can spend money and not be very good. There's no question about it. But you know what? That's part of the decision-making process. I don't know how much you guys follow horse racing. Did I miss something? What happened?
Man, hey, you crystal clear, and I'm good over. Van look like he on 3G.
Oh,
Van don't look like Nintendo to you.
What?
We look like 4K.
Is it bad?
Yeah, it's terrible.
Really? Because on my end, it's clear. Wow.
You're a narcissist. No, I'm just playing. Van's not a narcissist.
Wow.
Nicest guy.
It's that bad, huh?
Van is the nicest guy on this screen. Me second, Allen third.
You know what? Your compliments to me continue to be underwhelming. You got to get money. You got to make right decisions. It's a pretty simple deal. Look, through the years covering horses, there's a whole lot of horses that went for 7 figures and couldn't run a lick. Matter of fact, it's amazing how many horses where they spent a bunch of money on couldn't run a lick. And there have been some horses, Sunday Silence, I think it was bought back for 17,500 or 17,000, wins a couple eggs of the Triple Crown. So it happens. It happens. And obviously, who knew Sunday Silence was going to be that good? As a matter of fact, the people that bought it basically returned it to Arthur Hancock. He didn't have any. I've done the story on TV, and he literally had to buy it back, even though he didn't have the money because it was the right thing to do. So, it's spending money, making choice. Van, you look so much prettier now.
Really? That's interesting.
No.
Is it still bad?
Hey, you got to use that button. I use the one that smooths your skin and make you look like I look like Michael Jackson. Like I've had a
my gosh,
a Lago.
My Wi-Fi is bad. I'm about to hook the Ethernet up.
All that money you making and you can't pay for Wi-Fi?
No,
Hey,
Wi-Fi must be bad
Verizon,
today.
any of y'all out there, sponsor us a better connection, please.
Please.
Hey,
Hey,
guys,
cash out
I
me.
gotta work on a show for tomorrow. Give me one last thing if you want to throw at me, and I appreciate you asking me on.
I do want to throw one last thing.
Please.
Any truth to the, and I've been trying to follow you a whole lot. Any truth to that they've been trying to negotiate? Mark been trying to negotiate out of here.
If there's any negotiation going on now, I have no clue, and that's not what I said. Here's what basically happened. Mitch meets with his coaches at the end of the year. Mitch says he doesn't micromanage. You sit down, pretty typical stuff, and sometimes the AD says, "What can I do to help you more? Do you need to fix this?" That kind of stuff, up and back. And so maybe a comment was made that you need to do a better job in the NIL. And maybe a certain coach said, "You're not really helping me." And maybe an athletic director said, "You need to do a better job." And maybe a coach said, "Hey, I got to raise the money. I got to coach his team. I got to do all that. If you don't like what I'm doing, you can buy me out." Now, does that mean that's going on now? If it is, I have no idea. This is quite a long time ago. This is after the Tennessee game. Now, what Stoops did, I knew he was going to, answer in a way that just he didn't answer the question. And he said, I would never walk away. Well, I never said he would walk away. Never said that. Why would you walk away? You got $38 million on the table. So basically what he did was, I tell you what, I had Derek Johnson on the show today.
I
And
watched
Derek
that.
and Derek, you heard what he said. He said it was like a politician. He didn't answer the question. His answer had nothing to do with what I said. Nothing to do. Zero. Nothing. Kaput. It's not like Stoops banged on his door and said, "Oh, I want out." Da, 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 da. No. But I got to tell you, can I ask you both a question? And it came up again today with Derek Johnson, and maybe you heard it. And Christian Alt has done it. And Van, I don't remember if I asked you, because you're kind enough to do a show a lot, but I have been surprised. Deuce Williams was the same way. I have been surprised about how many former UK football players were more upset about Stoops accepting the job at A&M and then A&M rejecting him. It was the board. Then I actually realized that as Derek Johnson said today, hey, coaches come into your home and they say, "I'm going to be there for you," and da 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 da. I'll be your guy, whatever. And then you walk out the door. He said, trust is gone. Christian Alt said, trust is gone. And somebody put up today, this is a little mean. Somebody put up today a picture of Stoops in an A&M uniform hat, coaches thing, whatever. And I've said this, it's amazing how things went south after that happened. And he said, I'm gonna, back to work, da 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 da. And when he was asked the question on SEC Media Day, he danced around it, didn't answer the question either. Didn't deny, didn't answer the question. He accepted the job at A&M. He was putting his staff together. And so now you guys played the game. You guys played the game. You got 85 guys in the locker room, whatever it is, with walk-ons and stuff like that. When your coach had 2 feet out the door, is there a trust problem? And could you say, Billy Martin used to say this in baseball. I'm going along with it. I'll stop after this. You got 25 guys, used to be 25 guys on the baseball team. He said, you got to do this in the major leagues. He said, maybe there's 15 guys who like you. I don't know if 15 like Billy, but maybe 15 guys like you. 5 guys can't stand you. And 5 guys are mensa that they don't really care. What you don't want to happen is the 5 guys who don't like you get to the 5 guys who are lukewarm, because if they join the group that doesn't like you, you're screwed as a manager. And so now you got 85 guys in the locker room. I don't know the numbers, but I'm sure some guys went, no big deal. I'm sure some guys said, I'll never trust that blank, blank, blank again, because I know who players are. You tell me, right? Am I right? You promised me, you did this, you say you'll be for me, and you went out the door. I think a lot of guys look differently at him, whether he likes it or not. And he can say, my energy is there, I'm going back to work, and it's all great, and that's nice. What about the player? What about the player? What about the player and the effort and the trust that might have been lost? And you can't tell me that all 85 guys forgave him for that. If you do, you're a liar, and neither one of you guys are a liar. The percentage of guys, I have no clue. You would have a better idea than that. As Derek Johnson one more said today, when they took Dusty Bonner's job away as the quarterback, and just gave it to Jared Lorenzen. Dusty was the leader of the team. He lost the locker room. Even though everybody loved Jared, he lost the locker room. It affects your effort. You guys tell me. So he had 2 feet out the door, not 1 foot. He had 2 feet out the door, and it's impossible for me to believe that didn't have something to do with cancer.
Well, I can tell you this right now. I had a coach leave. Mike Archer, the best defensive coordinator at that time at Kentucky, left to go to Pittsburgh. And honestly, he didn't tell any of us. Like, he didn't have hey, guys, let's have a meeting. Hey, guys, I'm sorry. I'm going back home. We're going to Pittsburgh. Going to be a linebacker coach of Pittsburgh. We had no idea. I didn't know he left. We heard this through word of mouth, newspaper, that he's gone. I still love that man to this day. I'm in contact with him. Like for me, I understand that people move on. I would not lose that trust. If Mike Archer left, he did. He came back. He didn't come back when I played, but he came back years later. If he came back the next year, I would have welcomed him with open arms, even though he didn't even inform us. Because you have to understand the business. I guess I understood the business when I was in college. But I lost a coach. I lost a coach that the only reason I was at Kentucky is because of him. If Mike Archer doesn't go to Kentucky, I don't know anything about Kentucky. Coach Curry doesn't know anything about me. Coach Smith knows nothing about me. They ain't get information on me until Coach Archer moved over. So yes, for me as a player, it doesn't bother me.
And I say, Alan, it really don't bother me either. And I say it for this reason, Alan. Now, mind you, if you want to do some research, you want to do some homework, one of the athletic directors at Texas A&M is the brother of a former UK player that played the same position I played when I was there. I'm really good friends with him. I got a call midnight that night when all that was going down. So I think y'all coach coming here. And we were discussing it real time as everything was going on. And I told Van this. Hold on. Now they're in a group chat like all the big dogs at Texas A&M. We on the phone. So I already knew what was going on. Mark was going to make less. Expectation going to be high. The big hat, everybody know the story now. The big hat came in and was like, whoa, y'all about to hire who? But Mark was still about to take a pay cut to go there. He was going to be given all the resources he need to make it happen. But here's my question to you, Alan. Then I'm going to let you get out of here because I know you got to get up early. Here's the question I got for you, Alan. And this is one thing, and I think me and Van both feel the same on this. The thing that pissed me off about this fan base is I think Mark Stoops went to meet with them to see if things were good. I don't think he was going to leave like a thief in the night. If things were good, he was going to come back and have a conversation. I'm assuming he's going to come back, so if he would have did that same stuff and like, look, I'm about to go meet with Texas A&M, it was already going to be a severed and a soured relationship. Whoever leaked it because they wanted to leak it. My point being is, and he should have left then. Where we at now, his ass should have left then, and then the fan base could have figured this shit out on their own. Because now y'all don't want him. So if he'd have left, why y'all mad? Now we mad he came back. Man, our fan base is fucked up. They say stupid shit. I love our fan base because they passionate. Point being is, if Mark would have left then, so I'm not mad. I'm like, Van, I'm not mad because I think he wanted to see his option. And tell me this, Alan, all your years of covering UK, what coach can leave here in our fan base to be happy? When Pitino left, they were mad. When Morris left, they were mad. What coach can leave here and they're gonna be okay with it? The only coach they was mad the only coach they wasn't mad that left was Calipari. Because don't leave, let us fire you. That's how our fan base is. Don't leave. Stick around so we can fire you. And that's bullshit, Alan. And
with Guy Morris, I think people were mad at Mitch for not keeping him. I think people.
That's always with is it on Mitch to keep him. And you did point out athletic directors.
That Mitch didn't want him here. And I've got to tell you, Guy's not here, and I was very close to Guy. Jackie has told me, and Guy told me he was never even offered a contract.
Oh, wow. I didn't know that.
That's what they told me, which shocks me. And Guy told me this, and Jackie told me this. Guy was extremely, extremely not motivated by money. He just
Oh
wanted to
no,
be
he's a
here.
genuine guy. No, great guy.
He's
Great
about
guy.
and it was never about the money for him. He just wanted support and he just wanted a commitment. He didn't care about the money. He loved his guys on the team. He loved what he was doing. So mad that they were leaving. I don't think anybody was mad at Guy. Guy had to leave. He didn't have a choice. In,
I
in
didn't know
some of the
that.
other cases that you're saying, you're absolutely right. You're absolutely right. There's no question about it. Do you know when Tubby left? Do you know his assistants didn't even know he was leaving?
Wow.
But they were setting him up. He was gonna be done soon.
Tubby didn't feel like he was getting support that he should have gotten from administration. I know that
those last rosters couldn't have played at Twinsburg Chamberlain, Alan Cutler. Those last rosters they gave him. You agree?
Do you know there was a young man named Draymond Green that was coming here?
Yeah, I heard that.
No, you heard it from his mouth.
Yeah, that's what I heard that from. Yeah, he said it.
Yeah, that he was coming here, and who's the young man that said, "Oh, I just got a bad chill." This is a terrible thing to say. The 7'1" young man who was a great young man.
Sagari Aline?
No. The young man who died of a heart attack.
Yeah.
The young man who died of a heart attack on the court. Yeah. I'm sorry. It's terrible. I can't think. Yeah. I want to tell you, this is a selfish thing to say, the worst night I ever had in television. It's just the worst. I can't imagine. Now, this is cold. Had he come here, Draymond Green would have come here because there was, as you know, in basketball, there's a bridge that can happen that can turn the tide. And he was not only a great young man and coming from a great family, but he was like the perfect post player for Tubby. Yeah. And those things sometimes happen at times. No, Tubby thought he didn't at the end. He just felt like he wasn't getting enough support from. He wanted to leave because he thought he wasn't wanted here anymore. And I don't. And I'm sorry if Tubby denies that. He doesn't like talking about stuff like that. Right. But I don't think as many people had mixed feelings when Tubby left. Remember, at the end they called him 10-loss Tubby.
Yep.
So Anthony, I'm pretty good on history now. Like I told you, when Joby Hall, you can say you don't know this, that's fine. This is what I was a history major in college. I'm telling you, there have been times where Kentucky couldn't give the job away. Really. To the right, it's life is complicated. It just is. Now, if you're hopping on the fans, basically you could add to that. There are some fans, and I'm not being nasty, who think it's Kentucky. Anybody should want to come here. Well, if you're living in the state of Kentucky, you feel that, but you don't know how the other person feels. One of my favorite expressions in his life is walk a mile in my shoes. Jay Wright was never coming here. You could have doubled Jay Wright's salary, and I know people know Jay Wright actually really, really well. I mean, like really well. Okay. You double the salary, he wasn't coming here. He had enough money. He could still be coaching Villanova if he wants. How many millions do you need? And it wasn't a shot against Kentucky. Somebody will say, "Oh, he does that." And it wasn't. He liked his life. There's a guy named. I'll leave you with this one. This guy named Randy Bennett. 10-1. You've never heard of him, right?
No.
He coaches at St. Mary's. Okay. They're in the, I forgot the name of the league. It's the league that Gonzaga has dominated for years and years. He's been the second best team there forever. If I remember right, if I'm wrong, I apologize. He lives on a boat. Okay. It's a beautiful area. He's turned down tons of jobs. He always has great shooters from halfway around the world. Does a great job in New Zealand, Australia, whatever. First 15 minutes of their practice every day. You know what they do? Shoot threes. They're a really good basketball team. He ain't nobody going to go play for him that was ever got a letter or a sniff or a text from Kentucky. Okay. When you got insomnia some night, okay, watch them play. They're really good. They're really good. Now, he's getting too old now to move. Okay. He had plenty of, you don't think when there's a Pac-10, he had all kinds of offers to leave? Right. But he liked his life there. He's living on a boat. He's living on the water. He really liked it. I, my point is, guys, everybody gets centric about Kentucky. There are more coaches who could leave who don't than people realize. That's not a negative comment to Kentucky or any fan base, whatever. If you're fortunate enough to find a situation you like, why leave? Last one. There are guys that have left Boise State, and I know Boise State because I used to cover them, okay, and moved up to bigger places. And I guarantee you, a couple of those guys wish they never left.
Brian Harsin.
Yeah. And by the
Yep.
way, guess what? He's a local boy there, and guess what he did? When he got the Auburn job, he kept his house in Boise.
Did he really?
Yeah, and trust me, I know this. And so the point is this: had he stayed there, he'd be making well over two. I think he was making about $2 million a year. Whatever he'd be making. Boise will pay a little money now, not Kentucky money, but they pay a little money. Suppose you're making $2 million a year, and you're going to coach there 15 years. How much money do you need? If you can't live in Boise, Idaho, and by the way, you can't believe how expensive houses are there. It was in the top 10 with booms for a long time with housing and stuff like that. It's a beautiful place. It's a lot more expensive than people think because, who knows Boise from around here? There are multiple coaches that have left Boise State who were very successful. I guarantee you wish they would have stayed. I guaranteed it. And so this whole thing, it has to, where are you happy? Look inside yourself. Where are you happy? And on that note, I respect the heck out of both of you. You too, Van. I got to go to work. I hope I didn't dominate too much, and I hope I didn't say any bad words.
You should have said a bad word, but I'm gonna let you slide.
What bad word did I say?
No, he didn't. I expected more.
Oh, okay. You expected more?
Yeah, it's that FCC stuff that you can't get out of.
No, it's look. We had a rule in television. And Friday night, sometimes putting the show together, if you're ever around there, just stuff getting done late and whatever. Ryan Lemon was the best. He did it on purpose. A couple times, would you please look at your tie? And he would make his tie. I'm telling you, there were some times he made the tie with like, we're getting a standby, and he's just putting his tie. I mean, because Friday nights are crazy. And he would never, ever, ever look in the mirror because I told him one time, would you look in the blank mirror? So for that, he wouldn't do it. And he was really good at it. So the point is this. When my feeling was when my blank behind got in the studio, even I might have been yelling and screaming and cursing, get that score, who's got the tape, what's going on, stand by, you're running out there. When you step in the studio, those words, which the FCC, you just stop. You just train. It's not a big deal. Bye, guys.
Man, we appreciate you, man.
Hey, I respect the hell out of both of you. And I appreciate you guys doing the show, and guys, keep doing what you're doing.
Appreciate you, man.
Appreciate you, my man.
Bless you guys.
All right.
Thanks. Oh, man. Yeah, so a lot of good insight.
That's something I want to hit. I want to hit something. I can't remember. Because I like to answer the questions of the other people's. I lost it now. Never mind.
Going back to the I don't think Alan know what to do. I'm going to kick him out of the studio.
I'm still bad on the picture?
Yeah.
Shit. I don't know what the hell's going on because I'm hooked up with the internet.
Yeah. Hey, Drum, you're right. It was the cleanest show for Van because Alan ain't let him get to say nothing. And I had to throw out a couple cuss words just to let Alan know that it was okay for you to.
This is what I want people to understand, and for me.
That you got a cold or something first, and then go ahead.
Yeah, my voice is horrible. Yeah. And the thing about it is when my voice was bad, and I was trying not to strain it, but I coached football and had a football game. So it's like, it starts to get good, then I have a Friday night, and it's so. But here's the thing: I want people to understand this: is that Kentucky football, it is never about, for me, about we can never win. Because I don't know if you watch this show, our predictions have been pretty damn high. since 2028, since 2018. I've been at 9-8 wins every year since then, except this year. I've been at 9-8 wins every year. So for me, it's been disappointing. The last couple of years have been disappointing. Not last year. Last year was downright horrible. But the 2 years before that was disappointing. But then I can still look back on it and say, like, we don't count bowl games. If some players play in those bowl games, we win those bowl games. So then does 8 wins look better? Potentially. But that does not affect the 4 wins. The 4 wins is the season. That is crappy. But now you have to be able to say this, though. So people who are gamblers, is the history. When you go through gambling, you go through the history of either that matchup, the scenarios from East Coast to West Coast, whatever the variables are, you play into account. When you play into account this program, for people to think that we're just going to win 10, 10, 10, 10, 10, 10, 10, 11, 10, 10, 10, 11, it's crazy. That's all I say. It's not to say, like some people say, well, why are you going to play the game? That's not how it rolls. I can understand that there are going to be some seasons of 6 and 7 wins. Now, 4 wins shouldn't happen. But 6 and 7 shouldn't be a thing of like, oh my God, get that guy out of here. Because there's some people, Anthony, before the 4-loss game season, wanted him out after 2 7-win seasons. So it's like, for me, it's like this Georgia game. People complain and bitching and moaning about the Georgia game. Dude, I had us at 3-2 with 2-3. That's only 1 game off, right?
In that Ole Miss game, we had a shot.
So for people to say, well, it's now a crappy season, who had us at this point anyway? Like at this point of the season, we knew October was going to be the tough part of the schedule, right? So for me, it's like you got to be realistic. People call you pumpers or call you dumpers, what it is. I'm neither. I'm right in the middle because I'm going to, as you said, we had a current player join because we probably say some bad shit. One thing you're going to get from me, I'm going to call it how I see it. Film don't lie. That's not my opinion. That's not your opinion. It's what the product is on the field. It's that simple. If you play well, we're going to glorify you.
Yeah.
If you play like shit, we're going to shit on you. And it's not personal. It's not personal. But as a program, the history of the program is the history of the program for a reason. Same thing with LSU. People forget that after they won that championship, they went 5 and 6 wins.
Right.
They fired their coach. LSU has a shit ton of double-digit wins since 2000, though.
Right.
And that guy didn't bring them up to that level. See, sometimes, even though I understand, because I'm in with this, because my brain is prime. In with this.
You been smoking crack?
No. I had a long day today.
Okay.
So, people praised in 2018, 2019, 2021 the extracurricular activities of some of our coaches.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, he's at Jeff Ruby's. Oh, he must be recruiting. Oh, he must be on the phone call, right? Oh, it's a great thing, right? When you start losing, oh, he's at Jeff Ruby's. Which one is it? Which one is it? He's doing the same thing, but at one point he's winning, at another point he's losing. Someone else said something about that today. Oh, Baker Mayfield. Baker Mayfield said, appreciate you, Avantre. Baker Mayfield said, when I was at Cleveland, I was cocky and brash and arrogant. When I come to Tampa Bay and win, I have moxie. I'm a leader.
Yep.
He got that shit behind him. Like Baker said, I'm the same guy I was since day one.
Same person.
When Baker was dancing at Oklahoma and planting flags in the middle of the fucking field at away games, right? He hasn't changed. The narrative has changed. And all I want for people to be honest with is to say this. I've said on here, I'm not the biggest Stoops fan. Didn't agree with the hire when he came here, but you can't argue with the results. Is that to be consistent? That's all I ask. To be consistent. When you look at a guy, you like it one way, you have to love him through that. You can't say, oh, well, now that we're losing, that's the reason why we're losing. But while we was winning, that was the reason why we was winning, because they were men of the people. They would get out with the people. Drink with, rub elbows up at the bar. Now y'all pissed off at it. It's the same guy doing the same shit. We just ain't winning.
Yeah, it's funny you said that about the Baker Mayfield thing. You know what that remind me of? It remind me of 1996.
Uh-oh. Who? 96. I was playing.
I was too for a little while.
Oh, you talking about, okay, I got that.
And like you said, whatever the narrative is, people take whatever narrative is and run with it. And so I think to a certain extent that people can feel like this Stoops. And this is the problem we got right now. And this is what Alan said a little bit. What is Stoops? You was on 96 team. Well, y'all got y'all coach fired. We got our coach fired.
For sure.
And y'all turned it around, won 4 straight games.
Three.
Yeah, because y'all beat Indiana 0-3. Then y'all won 3 more. Won up 4-7, which was a win for y'all, us, y'all, whatever we gonna do this. And but the whole point was that's what if Stoops do turn around and fuck around and go 6-6? I know they still ain't gonna want him because he ain't got no control over the program. That's obvious. But like you pointed out, Alan, like, dude, and if you and you know what I think our fan base really don't realize, and it's gonna change next year. You want 8 wins, which is something we have never done consistently here, ever. But we only went to the 12 games, in 2002, 4, something like that.
Something like that. That sounds
so it's only been 20 years. So you can't go back to when we was actually winning. But my point is, if you want 8 games, our fan base don't realize, dude, that's only going 500 in the SEC and winning out of conference games. Basically 3 cupcakes in Louisville.
Yep.
So now it's going to change to beating LSU. I mean, beating Louisville.
Yeah, it was 6.
Yes.
Yeah, it was 6 conference games to get the 9. To get the 9 wins, you got one.
No, we're not talking about it. I'm not saying 9. I'm just talking about still getting the 6. Like even they want 8, but I'm saying they want 8.
My bad.
They want 8.
Okay.
So you
have to win 5 games.
You gotta count on them 2 gimmies.
Yep.
Then hopefully that Louisville.
You gotta count Louisville.
So you gotta count Louisville.
You gotta count Louisville.
So now we're gonna need 5. We got to go 5 and
that's what 5 and 4. Because Anthony, if you don't win Louisville, you gotta win 6 games in conference.
Which
if you don't, to get the 8 wins, huh?
We've never done. Never done.
No, I think we won 6 in the 50s or whatever.
Nah, because there wasn't that many teams in the SEC.
No. They were 6-0. I think one season they were 6-0.
Okay.
Yeah, it's look.
And that was before integration.
That is it's not arguing about the schedule. It's not saying, oh, we just need to give football up. Y'all, it's being realistic. When are you going to win 6 conference games? I want you to understand this. To get the 9 wins, you got to run the table and win 6 conference games. You got to be 6-3 in conference to win 9 games.
The athletic director don't want to spend no money. They don't want to pony up, and the fan base don't want to pony up. Who gonna come into this shit?
Hold on.
Who gonna come into this shit?
I want to stop this shit. It bothers me so much.
Oh man, I don't want y'all.
Nick Saban is a great fucking coach. Great coach. No doubt about it. What was Nick Saban's record at Michigan State before he left? Be honest. Was Nick Saban consistent?
I thought he had a hell of. I thought he had like a 10 in the one season or something.
His last season, he was this great season. His last season was this great season that got him to Kentucky. Nick Saban had history as being the defensive coordinator.
They got him LSU. They got him LSU, you mean?
Hold on. And I'm going to get it to you right here. Nick Saban, Michigan State, 6-5, 6-6, 7-5, 6-6, 9-2, and went to LSU.
Okay, 9-2. That's what it was. Okay.
Let me replay this. The great Nick Saban was 6-5, 6-6, 7-5, 6-6, 9-2. Know what happens when you go to LSU and you have the support of that institution and the resources and the talent you have? Now my great coaching has been exemplified on the field. As I always say, coaches don't forget how to coach. Do you think Gene Chizik was a great coach at Auburn, or do you think he had a damn generational player?
That was Cam's coach?
Yes.
Oh.
What the fuck has he done since then?
He used him. He used him right. Even if turning him loose is using him right.
Well,
Eddie Grant. Shout out to my boy Eddie Grant.
Well, hold on. I want to get you this. Guess who the offensive coordinator was? Gus Malzahn. I think Gus was the coordinator.
Yeah. Gus. Yeah.
All right.
Hurry up,
now,
Gus. Yeah, hurry up.
Now
Gus.
tell me how, and Gus is a damn good coach. Gus coached at my sister's alma mater, Arkansas State. Gus is a dog with calling plays. But Gus ain't got the right players. I mean, we make it seem like these guys are just, they can go get, what was that movie? The Replacements. Wasn't that the movie with Keanu Reeves?
Yeah.
People think that a great coach can just go get those players and make them amazing. It ain't that. It ain't like that. So all I'm saying is that if you think just because we get a great coaches, damn, Bill Belichick is at North Carolina. Is Bill Belichick not the fucking goat?
Getting his mouth tore out.
You know what I'm saying? So if you think it's just purely on coaching, you're misleading yourself. I'm not saying it doesn't matter, but some people think it's just coaching. Like, we just go get John Gruden, we're going to win games. BS. Bill Belichick is the greatest coach in the NFL history. A lot of people thought if he goes to college, all these kids are going to be running to him. Right? Because he coached the NFL. So many championships with the Patriots. Oh, players going to flock to him. It ain't going to happen, y'all. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. And that's not like John Summerall can't potentially come here and win 8 games. But are y'all going to be satisfied with 7 games? Like, are y'all going to be satisfied with the next coach?
We're going to raise
the next coach for the 7 games.
We're going to raise the bar like we did on Stoops.
And all this shit, I'm going to tell you this. And I've said Diego Pavea is the poster child. Pavea should be there.
Man, that boy cocky in the motherfucker.
What happens with Vandy? What happened with Vandy this year? Because Vandy ain't got into the teeth of their schedule. Right?
That's true.
What's Vandy's schedule? I'm pulling it up now.
And they do that all.
Let's see what Vandy does. They lost to Bama. They got LSU next week. Then they got Missouri. Then they got Texas, Auburn, us, and Tennessee. Are they going to win 3 conference games?
We just trying to win one. I'm going to speak up for the fan base.
Avondre said, Vandy, Ole Miss, Missouri, all these teams get to compete for playoff spots. Avondre, see, this is what is interesting. Do you know the history of Ole Miss? Do you know the history of Missouri? Missouri has a pretty decent fucking history in football. Ole Miss has a pretty damn good history in football. Guess how many wins Vandy had last year? Vandy was not in the playoff spot. Guess how many wins Vandy had? And people are losing their mind. Vandy won 7 fucking games last year. Vandy was 7-6. And people act like they were 10-2. Right? That's not right, though. People act like Vandy won fucking 11 games last year. They won 7. So I don't know. Go look at the history. Just go and Google Ole Miss football seasons or history, and you will see Ole Miss football history. Compare that to ours.
And it goes to the background, like we said before. It goes to the background, and people don't really want to. They don't really want to talk about reality. That if Texas, Georgia, Florida, even South Carolina,
Georgia, Alabama,
yeah, if you can field a team without leaving your state,
you leave it. Look, let's be realistic. For us to get in the playoffs, as it's currently constructed, you have to be top 5 in conference at worst. And not all 5 are going to make it. How many times we've been top 5 at the end of the conference record of the season?
Under Stoops, it's been a couple times. Under Stoops.
That's all I'm saying. So if we had playoffs, I wonder if we had playoffs in 2018 and 2021, and we got there, would the narrative be different? Right? Because we get there in both of those seasons.
Yeah.
Right? Will the narrative be different? The bad part about it, like I hear this bullshit, well, why can't we be like Vandy? No. Vandy was saying, why can't we be like Kentucky? Right?
Yeah.
Vandy was trying to get, you won 10 games twice. We want to be like y'all. Indiana, why can't we, their players, why can't we be like Kentucky?
Yeah.
We led that march of these current teams. Timing was bad on us. If 2018, if we make the playoff, a 16-team playoff, which we probably make in 2018, and let's say we win a game, is the narrative different?
Nah, we just gonna move the goalpost. We just gonna move the goalpost. I mean,
but people think it's linear, that we are going to continue to win like that.
Oh,
Bingo. So now here's the thing, Avondre. Here's the thing, and this is what I want to see. You don't feel it now because you're in the moment. When Diego Pavetta leaves Vanderbilt, where does that program go?
Mm-hmm.
Because they ride his coattails. They ride Tim back. I can't think of the guy's name. The offensive coordinator and Pavetta's Kate. Because Anthony, they have always been good on defense.
Oh yeah, they was good when
They've been good on defense since the 90s.
Yeah, they was good when we played them. Jamie Duncan and all them dudes.
Dude, they were ballers since the 90s. The defense has been balling. Now let's see what happens. Can they get another quarterback in there that's like Pavetta? You ain't even got to go that far, Wendell, with Eli and Jackson Dart. You going to the echelon. How about Matt Corral?
Yeah, I forgot about Corral. Yeah.
That motherfucker. And he ain't even, but in college, he was that dude.
Yeah, he was nice.
Like, I think people don't understand the whole history. I think there are some young people that don't know the whole history of some of these programs. Missouri had really damn good seasons.
They came to the SEC and went to the
championship game
twice, right? No, I thought they went back to back.
Yeah,
I thought they went to two. It might not have been back to back. I know they went once. I thought they went twice. It may not be back to back though.
What's the quarterback? Oh, the black guy played quarterback, not Campbell. They had a quarterback there, and he was a Heisman Trophy contender. Somebody knows his name. So I want people think Missouri has been Missouri, like, because when we beat them, they suck. Right? When we beat them a certain amount of years in a row, they suck. Missouri has a solid fucking program.
Yeah. What the hell?
It would have been Gary Pinkles. Would have been his 12-2 season. I thought his name
I
was
don't remember
King.
no damn.
No, that's Chase Daniels. That's not him.
Black dude.
Damn it, what's the guy's name? I know one of y'all fucking know it.
Yeah, somebody usually come up with it by now, so you might be wrong at this point.
That's Jason something. Jason Campbell, I think. Or was that the Auburn guy? That's the name that comes to mind.
Jason Campbell sounds. Jason Campbell. Auburn. That sounds like Auburn.
Yeah, but that's the guy who played for Missouri.
He transferred to Missouri?
No, he was a quarterback.
Oh.
I'll find him.
Matt Mock ain't black. You might be. Maybe he thought he was black and he wasn't. Maybe he had been on the beach.
Brad Smith. Brad Smith was a mobile option-ish quarterback.
I don't remember that. I don't remember that at all.
The early 2000s.
Brad Smith. Huh.
Yeah.
How?
Dude, he had, I'm going to see what he had. He had 9,000 career yards passing, but he was a rusher too. Brad Smith is the leading rusher in Missouri history as a quarterback. He's number 1 in yards and number 4 in passing yards. Career. A dog.
Oh, yeah, I wasn't following them back then. They wasn't even in SEC back then.
No.
Yeah,
that right. Ball.
He's from Ohio. That's why he's from Youngstown, man. Youngstown, man. Come on, man.
So they have had some years. Now, like, they ain't consistent, but I'm going to tell you this. Since 2000, Missouri has had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 double-digit win seasons. 7.
What they got to do with us?
How many we've had? 2.
And you talking about under Stoops?
Well, that's all we've had since 2000.
Oh, since
10 win seasons?
Yeah. We only had what, 4 or 5 in our history, right? But our fan base is expecting 8.
Yeah. Right.
And now, mind you, and this is one thing I keep trying to tell people, and like I said, we now have 12 games. When you and I finished, we only had 11 games.
You only had 11. Right.
So when you add that cupcake, all that did was give you extra wins. So
right.
Our 7-4 season, I'm looking at being 8
win. Right.
But
for sure.
I don't know.
Here's the thing. Here's the other thing people need to understand. They're also getting 2 buys.
Yeah, that's true.
If we had 2 buys with a cupcake to get some of our starters healthy again, that makes a difference too.
Yeah. Y'all want to get your head coach fired. How does it feel to get your head coach fired? And you know what's kind of crazy? We're gonna get out of here with this. So as good as Stoops has done here, and I know people, and I do not disagree with none of y'all. I think he probably has lost his luster. He probably lost his affection for the program. And he has been through, and we did point out, he has been through, like I said, it has been through a lot. Like, y'all can't trust him. He can't trust y'all. One thing about y'all do need to really understand, when a coach wants to leave here, this is what I want somebody to tell me. Send me a videogram. When a coach wants to leave here, how do you want them to properly leave here? Because can't no coach leave here without y'all being mad. So they need to write you a note. Oh, we appreciate you. And I'm saying Mark Stoops went and met with Texas A&M. And if he was going to get the job, I'm assuming he was going to come back. I don't know if he was going to pull a Wolford where he just wasn't going to come back and be like, hey, man, just throw everything in the trash, man. I'm going to buy new shit. But I would assume he would have came back and been like, hey, guys, have a team conference. And I'm sure people may do it the other way. Point being is, we rarely have coaches leave here because of success, because it's hard to be successful here. And when we do have a successful coach, everybody acts like, oh, he tried to leave us. Okay, so he's supposed to stay knowing that the athletic director, the athletic department ain't putting money into it. Fan base ain't putting money into the program. NIL is kicking our ass and ain't nobody ponying up. I'm not saying that he should say that out loud. But I'm going to say this before we get to the next thing, before we move along. Georgia has been doing NIL before NIL was a thing. That's why Georgia's so successful. They were spending money, way more money on players. They were spending way more money on players before NIL was legal. So now they just like, okay. Hey, man, take your mask off. Just go ahead. Here. How much? And hand it to him. So it's going to take money if we want the program to turn around. And I don't think our fan bases, like I said, I think everybody wants to win 6, 7, 8 games. 7, I ain't going to say 6 no more. 7, 8 games. And that's how much money we spend. We got one of the lowest tickets in the conference. It don't cost much to watch us play. But if we want to win 10 games, somebody's going to have to pony up. And if y'all want some, and if we, I'm going to quit saying y'all. If we want somebody to come in here and lead us to that, people are going to have to. Somebody's going to have to want to come here and coach under these circumstances. Where the fan base ain't going to pony up. The athletic director ain't putting no money into the program. More money going to basketball than it does in football. And that's fine. But I'm just saying, we got some unrealistic expectations. And Mark has met a lot of them. He is on the downward trend.
Sure.
But us and going at him and him, like, man, look, I don't want to coach for these people no more. I don't know if that's the case or not. I'm speculating. But that may be where we at. And I don't know if you really want that from your coach, but if our fan base feel like, yeah, like with Joker, yeah, we accomplished, we accomplished we got his ass out of here. Where are we going from here? Like, where are we going next? I done finally jumped on the bandwagon with the fan base. Like, all right, his time is probably done here, I think. He just Ruby'd out. He needs a new restaurant. Apparently, that's going to be he needs Jeff Ruby's and cut off his card or something. I don't know.
Giuseppe's. That's where he need to go to.
Now, Giuseppe's, hey, when we went there, I ain't no foodie. You a foodie. You will cook food for 14, 12, 13, 14, 15 hours to eat in 15 minutes. No, sir, not me. Hot dog, you know how long it take to cook a hot dog in the microwave?
Oh, shit, in the microwave, a minute.
1 minute. If you want to bust open, 1 minute and 15 to 20 seconds. And you know what? I'm going to walk around this earth just like you with the same amount of energy as you got. Once I put that hot dog in me. Pause.
That you beat me to it, because that was a strong shit. Once I put that hot dog in, it was crazy. I'm gonna say this, and I've said this many times, but we got new watchers. This is what I don't like. I don't like the pocket watchers. If you're in sales and you are on a platinum group or wherever your business calls it, year after year, and you up for a raise, who has the leverage? Me. I'm your highest selling sales guy. Are you willing to lose me? Are you willing to take that hit? But I'm the highest worldwide sales guy. So when people say, why are we paying $9 million our rate of return? What y'all got was he was making up for the money for getting us where he got us.
Right. Yeah.
Y'all would have felt differently after that 10-win season 2018, and we couldn't pony up the money to pay him, and you lost your best coach in school history at that time. What would y'all been doing? Bitching. That man had all the fucking leverage. And there is nothing Mitch could have done but either let his ass go or pony up. It's as simple as that. This guy's been here 12 years, has the most, probably conference, the highest. He's won 5 games in this conference more than anybody else. That's something. Nope. I'm sorry, Anthony. That really don't mean anything because the conference just sucked when we won 5 games in conference.
No, man. Like I said, I just want people to be realistic, man. Like I said, Avondre, I keep talking. Like I said, I understand. Nobody wants this program to be more successful than me and Van. I want to become more jealous than I am now. I want to become jealous of how much success they're having, how much the facilities have grown, how much the fan base, the interest of the fan base has become. Only thing I do know is that, like I said, we done seen some bad years. Van and I both have seen some bad years. And fans out there cheering for you. And we out there working our tail off. And like I said, I would assume, you know what? I'm gonna go on record for this. I guarantee you, Hal Mummy wasn't worrying about nothing. Hal Mummy wasn't putting forth as much effort. And this is what's crazy. People like when somebody have a downfall, people like to talk about it. And like I said, Hal Mummy, hey, he ain't my guy. Like I would tell you, I love Leach. I love Franklin. I love Hatcher. There's a lot of coaches on our staff. Like, man, them my guys. You know what I mean? Man, I said, Mummy, I don't have a problem with Mummy. I don't like the way he did a lot of things. They ain't got nothing to do with it. Like I said, but he put me in a great position so he can recognize some things. You ain't got to recognize a whole lot with Tim Couch because he does what he does. Point being is, when Hal Mummy was very casual. And if you get Tony Franklin, you ever read Tony Franklin's book?
No.
You ain't read this book? The Good, the Bad, the Ugly? Go look on Amazon, all of y'all. If you want to know what the program, and I will tell you this. If Hal Mummy would have been the head coach, which he wouldn't have been the head coach with Rick Smith or Yo Boy, the one before Rick Smith, the defensive coordinator before Rick Smith. They wouldn't have, like, it wouldn't have worked out. It'd been oil and vinegar. It wouldn't have worked out.
No.
But if Curry would have hired Mummy in instead of Uzak to let Tim run the offense and kept because Curry was hands off.
Yeah.
Curry, hey man, you run the offense.
No. That's bullshit. Curry was calling plays on the sideline. That's why our offense sucked.
But I'm just saying, all I want the fan base to know is, like I said, I'm with y'all. Stoops may have weared out his welcome. He may have become insensitive to our program. Maybe he want a new start. Maybe he might be done after this, like Brock and Zach. He might. When you play football here, people just walk with me here and just be like, man, look, man, I'm done with football. So just understand, if we get rid of them, we're probably going to start from scratch again. Like, what happened when Rich Brooks left? Joker went 6-6, 2-10.
2-10.
So it's gonna. If we want him out of here, which I'm fine with, but just be patient, man. Just like I said, I'm just scared, Van, that they gonna mess around and steal a couple of these games and make it interesting. Then our fan base go. He can't. We ain't gonna be able to recover from the fan base. Ain't gonna be able to recover. Stoops ain't gonna recover. I think he wants out.
We ain't making no run, Anthony.
Who gonna want to come here and coach when our athletic director ain't spending no money on the program? We one of the lowest funding programs in the SEC. The last coach left because 8 wins wasn't enough. They look so. If coach come here, let me see what kind of in-state we can get. Who can we get from Tennessee? Who can we get from Ohio? Who can we get from Georgia? Oh, we got to wait to see what Kirby's doing. We got to wait to see what Josh is doing. We got to wait to see what Pruitt's doing. Like for you to get recruits, you got to wait to see what Day is doing. It's interesting, but
I got a question, Anthony. Let's say we lose the next 2 games. So there's 4 games in a row. We 2-5. What if we win the next 5 games?
I can't get back on the what ifs no more, man.
No, I'm just saying. No,
they on my head already. They already on my head.
But is this? Do you remember Les Miles' year where LSU they won the fire, and he won like the last 3 games, and they kept him another year?
I don't know how it happened. You down there, so you know better than me.
Yeah, they were apparently, from what the word on the street, AD was on the field ready to fire.
Ooh.
And the team God damn it, they came back in that game and won it. And they're like, ooh, can't do it. Can't do it. I think it was that. Yep, 93. Let's see what happened. Yeah, LSU won their last 2 games. They beat Texas A&M. I think that was a year. They finished 9-3. Dude, they finished 9-3. They lost 3 games in a row. They lost to Bama, Arkansas, Ole Miss. So they was 9-3 about to fire them. And they won the last 2 games. What happens if we go 2-5? Fans are calling for his neck. And he wins the last 5 games. Do you still fire him? Because that's still not the standard. Right? Think about it. I know what you're saying.
Don't talk to me. You talking to the fans.
Okay. You're right. To the fans. If we lose the next 2 games, which I guarantee you, everyone had us losing these next 2 games. I don't know if anybody had us beating Georgia, Tennessee, or Texas. We're 2-5. People are giving up on the team. And we go on a 5-game winning stretch. Do you still want to fire? For me, if you want to fire at 2-5, you want to fire at 7-5 too. He's the same guy.
Yeah.
He's the same fucking guy.
Yeah.
If he's 2-5 and you want him gone, there's nothing he can. That's just like your husband or wife cheating on you, and all of a sudden they come right back. I'll never do it again. I'll never do it again. It's already the writing's on the wall. I'm interested to hear if he wins the last 5 games, or you're like, he's the right the ship for you. So you will go another season with the same guy that you don't trust?
Right.
That's all I'm asking. I don't know what's wrong with my feed on this. It's weird.
I don't know, man.
And I'm hardwired.
NIL, KSR to sabotage you.
That's funny. That's good shit.
I mean, it is what it is, man. Come on, man.
That's funny.
We got a bye week to recover. Now, if he comes back off of this bye week and wins, we're gonna have another show before the bye week. Yeah. We have another show before the next game. So if he comes back off of this, wait a minute. Yeah, we have another show. So if he come back off of this bye week, then that say something because he didn't figure some things out. But I don't know, man. So I don't know. But, a lot of people said our fan base is already hoping for us to fail before the season started.
Yeah.
So, and I don't think there's nothing he can do to recover. 7. Oh, well, we should have. If we would have won Ole Miss, I mean, like you said,
right.
7 wins.
We should have beat Ole Miss, South Carolina.
We don't do 7 wins on the regular. We don't do 8 wins on the regular. Even when people was talking about, well, we were declining from 10 wins. We weren't about to sustain 10 wins. We weren't about to sustain 9 regular season wins.
We know that. We know that.
I'm glad you got Mr. Douglas, I'm glad you got to counter that. We're gonna keep that in your back pocket. Hey, none of this matters to me, period. Like none of it really matters. Like I don't get paid no more or less whether Kentucky wins or loses. I just like to see our program succeed and be successful. And I know how hard it is to win, as long as everybody putting forth the effort. If everybody putting forth the effort, can you imagine? You ever realize, like when you watch the games, and this is where I want this to go. Nah, this ain't really what I want to go because it's gonna come across as insensitive.
Whoa. I'm sorry, Anthony. That stat is wrong.
That seemed like a long ass time.
We didn't win a game in 24. So that's right. We beat Mississippi State November 4th of 23. So it's not September.
Last time Mark Stoops won an SEC game was we beat Ole Miss last year. What are you talking about?
No, that's true. You're right. We did win one game. So that's he's talking about maybe a home game.
Maybe. I think that
might be a home game.
You got to correct that, Mr. Douglas. But I'm gonna go back to, like I said, when people do, like when you put a person in, special needs person in the basketball game, and they get a shot off, or they let them make a bucket, or you put a person in, special needs person in a football game and let them go to distance. It's because they put forth the effort, they got the desire and everything else. As long as our players and coaches are putting forth desire, and I understand our fan base is saying that Mark Stoops doesn't have the desire or putting forth the effort. That's absolutely understandable. If that's what the narrative is, I don't know. I would hate to believe that someone, because if they're not putting forth that type of effort, someone could get hurt. Like there's a lot to be lost. It ain't just his paycheck. Like he's responsible for people's kids. He's responsible for his assistants' paychecks. He's responsible for a lot of things. So I hate to think that's the case, but our fan base acts like that people just cash in, just check in, like assistants, head coaches, players. Now, players cannot believe in a coach and do their own thing, which Vanna eloquently points out in his breakdowns, but I just don't think that's a norm. So we just got casual fans saying, oh, they're not going to. When I say they checked out, I don't think they have faith in coaches doing the right thing for them personally. Then it becomes a personal agenda. If you winning, like Tom Brady, for instance, Tom Brady played a long time in the NFL because he deferred a lot of his money to go around people that can protect him, and he have options to throw the ball to, and have some put people on the other side of the ball that can get me the ball back. I think at Kentucky, we've done as much as we can do. NILs come into play, and I don't think we had the coaches in the right positions, and players are trying to figure it out on their own. Mark Stoops is just trying to make it through. I don't think nobody's giving up on the program. But if our fan base gives up on them, then I'm sure they're going to give up on them. I'm certain at some point they may give up. But I don't like to say it. So, I mean, it's an interesting concept. It's an interesting concept. And I appreciate before we get off, you understand what Alan was saying about the conversation had? It came across as like, look, I feel remorse. Let me get out. Or it might have came across as, hey man, I need some more help from you.
Yeah.
To the athletic director, Otherwise, hey man, just let me up out of here, man. Man, hey, how can we make this quicker? What if I give you 90 days instead of 60?
Right. And I will say this, as coaches with egos, if you're a head coach, you have an ego. I don't give a damn. You can mask it, you can hide it, you can subdue it. But every motherfucker who takes on a program in high school, college, or NFL has an ego. I think if we only win 3 games again, his ego is like, I'm not going through this shit again. I think that is his exit. I don't think any man who has done, people understand, name another program in a major conference, team that's been a seller consistently, takes them over, it takes them to a point that they have never seen in their program history. And he's going to say, and you get to a downside and be like, yeah, I've done enough. To go 4-3 or win 4-8, to go 3-9 or go 4-8 back-to-back seasons, I think he's going to say, I've had enough. I don't think he comes back to handle, to be a head coach in this league. There's a reason why these coaches make, the bottom of the barrel coaches making $1 to $2 million a year. It is tough. It's tough on your family. It's tough on you mentally. It's tough on your coaching staff. It's a rigorous job that people think is just easy. If he wins 4 games again, I think he's like, why would I put myself through this when I've hit the ceiling for this program?
Yeah, I agree with you. Like I said, nobody wants to, the athletic department don't want to invest in you, whatever. I mean, that's why most of the coaches leave. I think that's why Brooks left. He knew they wasn't investing in him, whatever. So, I mean, I guess that's why Morris had to leave, being told I don't know. Like I said, we never really gonna be, unless we invest in our football program, and I don't think they want to invest in our football program. That's probably why the coaches taste sour. So it might be time for the athletic director, huh?
We ain't got this kind of money in Kentucky, brother.
Oh, they got it. They got it. We a horse industry. We are number 1 in equine.
How many horse guys are in the state of Kentucky, though?
But we are number 1 in producing.
Right.
If they want to invest, they not investing. You know, they would invest in us. They would invested in us in the football program or the university in general. Now I guarantee they were invested in the agriculture department.
Right.
I guarantee they invest millions in that. If it's going to turn over return on investment. But no,
there's a reason. There's a reason. When I was at school, we had a equine department.
Yeah. Well,
right. So that's what the investment was. We just look.
We're not committed to it, man. Nobody's committed to it. Apparently, the head coach ain't committed to it. Fan base ain't committed to it. The university ain't committed to it.
No, the fan base is, but the fan base wants it.
Committed to showing up and clapping their hands.
They want it how they want it. They just want to do it how they want to do it. Like, I don't know many programs, but I do know LSU. LSU we ain't a rich state, but we got some rich people.
Right.
Just like Ole Miss Mississippi ain't a rich state, but they got some rich people. When you are the talk of the town, Ole Miss is Mississippi. Ole Miss is the top of the town for Mississippi. LSU is the only real program in Louisiana as far as football. They get all the funds.
Right.
So that's all I got.
Well, we'll figure this out. Something's going to change. Maybe Bush Hamlin still be the offensive coordinator next week. Maybe he won't. We'll find that out. That's a whole other topic. But we is able to get Alec Color on us. That's fine. We might have somebody else on here to talk next week about that. maybe we need time for a new offensive coordinator. I need to brush off my offensive coordinator playbook, man, and get back out here, man. Get to the grind, man. Get me 1 point.
Get it. You in there.
Thank you all for joining us, man. We appreciate it, man. We appreciate our man,
the cut man.
Alan Cutler, man, for joining us, man. Stayed late with us, man. I called him last minute, like, man, let me find out what's going on with these rumors. He came on. Van is still struggling through. I don't know what's going on with Van. The weather, you know what? The weather has broken. The weather is broken up here. So I'm sure the weather is broken down there. So got a little cold for Van's little baby voice. You know what? He's working on KSR, working on all the radio shows. You know, you can't let all that stuff get in your throat. You know what I'm saying? So you need to be. Can
I say something?
Not really, but because I'm doing the outtake. Go ahead. Go.
I'm gonna say this again. Big ups to Kendrick Jones. It said something about this program. This man watches us all the time. He ain't got to do that. His son no longer playing here.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And his son didn't even come. He didn't even do his 4 years here. We got 1 year with him.
Right.
Shout out to Ja. So
sure.
we appreciate y'all, man. Join us back next week. It's gonna be just as lively as this week. We ain't giving y'all 2 hours because it's only 10 o'clock on Van's time. It's past my bedtime here. So we'll be back next week. But before that, go ahead and like, subscribe, share, follow. Go hit the like button, whatever method you watch us. Twitter, Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, TikTok. Hit the like button. We'll be back next week.